name's Tali, and this is my bus. His name is Bodhi. It's a 1990 Chevy Van 30. So I spent about 4.5 months building it out. I've been living it now for about 4 years. This is like the newest addition to the bus, is the beautiful little cube mini right here. It's definitely my best friend this winter. For the space, it just heats it perfectly. And that was kind of the last area that I hadn't renovated. It was this corner, so it kind of fit in there nice. So this is like just like a little Chinese diesel heater for like $150. Got it off of Amazon, and I kind of like, yeah, it's nice to wake up in the morning and just like click that on right away. It's super efficient. I probably go through like maybe $3 to $5 a day if I'm running it all day, so it's nice and quiet. So yeah, this is all made out of reclaimed wood and salvage wood that I found at different mills. I tried to do my best to like just find driftwood and stuff that people didn't want. So basically like 90% of the materials in the bus are free, so I just had to go find them. So that was a pretty cool process, just like picking out driftwood pieces, looking for like little pieces of like manzanita wood for the handles on in the kitchen there. And this probably like this table here was from Tofino. It's from a barrel that my friend had, and he's like, it was just rotting in his backyard and he didn't want it, so I just like, it was kind of like perfect for the space, so I dug out all the stuff inside, all the rot, and filled it full of crystals. And it's kind of like a time capsule. It's got like stuff that I've like collected all over the world when I've been traveling, and I kind of wanted like the sort of the final outcome to be like a West Coast kind of tidal pool. Yeah, I've got like starfish and sea urchins and shells and crystals. And I put lights inside it so it lights up at nighttime. And I put phosphorescent powder in there so it glows in the dark as well. So and I've also got this like driftwood lamp over here that I built to kind of match the table. So it also has like little lights that like plug in to the wall, and they kind of flow through all the backs of it and come out and light up the crystals. Yeah, and then like I love reading and stuff, and I really wanted to incorporate a library into my build as well. So this is kind of like a little reading nook I created here to sort of like, I can entertain, or I can just kind of sit there with a book by the fireplace. That's the hardest thing in buses, is finding storage. So I've got all storage in there. It's kind of like a pantry. I've got a lot of my kitchen storage stuff in there, and I've got a bit of storage up top here. Then I've like kind of left this. This is kind of unfinished right now. I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna put a window in the front and a window up top and grow like salad greens in there eventually, and then have a grow light. This is the wheel, but I got a bit more storage under here for blankets and stuff. And then I built a shelf underneath the table here to kind of like have a bunch of like supplies, like computers and art supplies and more books and stuff like that. And the other thing that I've always really wanted is to have like a whole bunch of different spices and pantry stuff and stuff in mason jars, so it's all organized. So I think I've got about 60 mason jars in the bus, and they're all screwed in to different zones. I've got like a bunch, yeah. And then this is all storage back here. And then for my electrical, I've actually got my charge controller and inverter and stuff back there, which is all running 12 volt right now. And I've got a big battery. I think it's like 133 amp hours tucked in there as well. For my fridge, I got a nice little Domestics. It's super efficient. I run it off 12 volts. I got my Berkey filter and some more mason jars in the back. You got to maximize every single inch. And then the water from the top, which I collect in like giant big 4-inch PVCs that run, I got 4 of them on the top roof. Those feed into the tap here, so I can do all my dishes. I think it holds like 130 liters up top. It's gravity fed, and that's not for drinking, that's just for like dishes. Yeah, for the water, it's just like a nice little simple 12 volt pump back there, and it's nice because you can just do a little trickle to conserve water when you need to, or you can just like let it close. And it's loud, but it's only loud when you're using it. So the sink was a guy in my hometown. He actually made a bunch of my bowls too. He's like a really amazing woodworker. I try to like eat off everything that's wooden, because when you're traveling, when wood hits each other, it's like a nice kind of quiet sound, instead of having like cutlery and everything banging against each other. So I've got like all these like wooden utensils, and these are all bowls that he's made. And then I tried to find like something to build a sink out of, and that was like one of his salad bowls that he had for sale. I think it was like $80 or something. So just drilled a hole in the bottom of his salad bowl and put some epoxy on it, and that was my sink. And yeah. Cooking on gas is the best way to go. It's kind of like my other pantry, where I just keep like grains and dried fruits, and yeah, it's been a really handy place. You can just like quickly grab something when you're cooking. And then this is also my bedroom slash kitchen slash workshop. So this is where I sleep, and I usually just like pull this out and then just sleep on top. But if I really want to, I can pull it out to a full bed, just like that. And then all these cushions and this cushion all fit together. I think for the next one I'm gonna do like a pull-out bed though, so I can actually adjust and decide like which depth, so I can, because the problem with this is I can't use the kitchen when it's out. So yeah, so for lighting I've just used these like really efficient LED little pot lights that I got at Home Depot, I believe. Yeah, I've got like, I barely even use these ones. These are for if I just want like a lot of light if I'm doing like work on artwork and stuff, but normally I just use these little side ones that I can pop on. So that first panel on the far side there used to be on the roof of my bus when I was traveling, but just like being parked full time now, I wasn't really getting the solar for the winter, so I decided to get 2 more panels, and I just like hooked up these for the winter, and then in the warm months I just use one of them, and it just like faces south so it gets the perfect angle. And I've got like basically like a full battery all the time now. It's just free energy. It's just like one of those incredible feelings to hook up those panels and finally be living for free. So for the whole winter I've been living off those 2 gutters right there. It's been raining almost like every day out in Yuki, and yeah, I just like fill up the buckets. Kind of right now I'd like to have a tank down below, but for now I just like fill up the top and it goes into the PVC pipes and it's gravity feed, so it's kind of nice. The PVCs kind of come out of here. This one's broken, but I still have that side, and they both run down into this pipe, and that just runs up into the 12-volt pump. I used to have this running off the back for showers and stuff when I was traveling, but now that I live here I have a separate shower. Kind of wanted to maximize my space in the bus, like inside and outside, so like going to Mexico, the deck was like by far the most incredible modification I did, so we spent like most of our days up there. And then the ultimate dream was to be able to hang hammocks up there and like check the surf and stuff, so I built the scaffolding around the edges like super strong, so you can actually have like two guys hanging in hammocks up top there. And then you can actually add another level for a roof if you want like a shade structure. And then I got all the wood for free from a mill that was all live edge, so I kind of tried to figure out how to like make it kind of artsy and unique. Oh, this is the dream right here. So I designed that back piece because I didn't really have much storage inside the bus, so when we're traveling, like that's where we kept our wetsuits and propane and barbecue and surfboards and stuff like that. And I built the bottom so it's all mesh so all the water flows out. And then I got like high-speed internet, so definitely luxury being parked. Alright, so this is my outdoor shower that I've kind of been building for the past month. It's not finished, I still need to cut all the deck pieces out, but yeah, I just wanted to create like almost like a little tree fort platform where I can come, and I've got a 12-volt battery down below. I've got a propane on-demand system, so I can just like flick that. Here, I can show you. Flick the switch and you got a shower going. At the perfect temperature in like 5 seconds. The cedar bathtub is going to kind of sit over here, and then the cistern and the rain catchment is going to flow down to it, gravity feed. So yeah, can't wait to have my first bath. It's going to be so good. Why do I live in a bus? I feel like I reached this point in my life where I was just getting tired of moving in and out of places all the time. I just like really wanted a space that was my own, and at the time I just like didn't have a property, didn't have a house, didn't have anything. I just like was constantly moving. I've just been traveling for on and off basically for 20 years straight. So I was living in Tofino at the time. My friend Court, he just bought a bus and he moved on the property and started renovating it, and it just instantly planted that seed in my head, and that was exactly sort of like the place and the little sort of like, yeah, little home on wheels that I could have anywhere I kind of like ended up moving. So the beauty of it is like all the work you put in, like every single day you just get to wake up and enjoy it, and yeah, all that hard work, you just like see all the little things that you worked on, and it's all just like beautiful memories of yeah, just all the sweat and hard work that you put in. So as soon as I took the bus to Mexico and came back, I was definitely hooked. I could see the life that I wanted to live. So I'm excited to start converting my next one and to keep living on the road. When I purchased this land 2 years ago, I could just like drive right onto it. I already had a home. I didn't have to like think about sort of building right away. I could take my time, and that's really like how I wanted to like live it, was, you know, do like they say in permaculture, like take a year, sort of like feel your land, walk around and and just like really decide like where all the light's coming from, where the drainage is happening, and just like think a lot about the gardening and then also about the building aspects. So it's been really like amazing to like just park here and instantly have a cozy place right away. And just it feels like the bus was just meant to be here. So just really grateful to have that opportunity to take the pressure off for sure. Yeah, so I decided to go the DIY route just because I love creating things on my own. I love to like sort of like take the time and do each little piece of the puzzle along the way and make the mistakes, and just have the freedom to sort of like think about really like making it the most functional I possibly can, and make it like really personal, and just kind of like in the end it kind of ends up being like a little sort of like portal into your own mind when you're inside it. So I wanted to just be basically like a living piece of artwork that I can share with other people all the time. So because I'm an artist and that's how I live, so it's just another sort of way to share. So some of the challenges, I'd say that the hardest challenge traveling is probably like trying to find parking spots sometimes. It's really sad, like in our day and age right now, I feel like it doesn't matter if you're parked anywhere and it's legal or not legal. People are instantly going to label you, and like they're going to think you're camping. So it's a tricky thing to sort of like navigate society and feel comfortable traveling and stuff when people kind of like label you right away sometimes. Other than that, I'd say like my biggest stress probably traveling in a bus would be like just mechanical problems, because I'm not really mechanical savvy at all. So I would just like it's just nice in this bus to have an engine that anybody can work on. It's an old engine, so I just trust that I'd find the right people at the right times, and so far everything's always worked out. I've found like absolute angels on the road ever I am, so that's been great. Other difficulties, I'd say just like small spaces. I find sometimes you get a little bit claustrophobic and stuff, especially like this winter's been kind of hard, because like living in 60 square feet and like using it as a kitchen, a bedroom, and a workshop, and all these things is a little claustrophobic sometimes, but you definitely make it work, and there's definitely bonuses to living that really simple sort of organized lifestyle. So living a sustainable life was definitely very like a big reason that I like moved in the bus as well. So I'm just conscious of how much I'm using all the time. Like just allowed me an opportunity to use all this like recycled material. That was a nice thing about building it myself, is I could like decide like, I could decide to use natural materials if I wanted to. It's a cool feeling just getting all your energy from solar every day, which is free, so you're not really having a big impact. You've got no bills. I basically know like every single liter of water I'm using at all times. And besides like the fuel, I feel like it's like a pretty simple, light way to live. So advice for people who are considering doing conversion, I definitely highly recommend a school bus. I mean, there's no other vehicle where you can be surrounded by glass. Like there's 22 windows in here, and every single moment when I wake up in the morning to like go to sleep at night, like I'm just connected with my environment, so it just basically feels like I'm camping. There's like a nostalgia about a bus that you don't get from any other vehicle out there. Like people kind of see one and it kind of like wakes up a part of their like younger youthfulness kind of, so they want to like they want to be a kid again when they see a bus almost. So it's like they want to just come in and play and talk and tell stories, and it's been a great vessel for meeting people, because one of the main things when I built it, I was feeling very lonely and I was feeling trapped and confused in life. So I wanted this bus to be a place where I could like connect with the world again and inspire people, and just share, just be human, just connect, just share things, and make new friends. I'd say so a person who's best suited for this lifestyle is someone who is open to a lot of change, a very free spirit, I guess, like someone who really appreciates like that gypsy kind of lifestyle, constantly moving around, just like embracing just all the aspects of the journey, whether it's like good ones or the bad ones, but just like really enjoying the traveling, kind of like mindset of constantly like adventuring and exploring, and sort of like not just like exploring the landscape, but exploring themselves too, and just going deeper within themselves. And someone who's like just like kind of like sick of society and wants to change and like wants to live some sort of alternative lifestyle, I feel like it's like definitely suited towards that type of person. It's like the coziest place you could ever imagine living, like in a small tidy little nest that you build, especially in the wintertime with a wood stove. And it's just I find in our world there's just like people live in such like giant houses and beyond their means and needs. It's just always causing stress. And when you live in a small space, it reminds you how simple life is and that you don't really need a whole lot to be happy. When I was like living on the West Coast 4 years ago, when I decided to buy the bus, I was going through a big shift in my life, and I felt kind of stuck and trapped, and I quit my job. I was unsure of like where I wanted to live, or what I wanted to do for work. So basically, like, I kind of put my whole heart and soul into this bus project as a place where I could like create like a beautiful home, a studio, a safety net, and also be able to travel, because I've just been traveling my whole life as well. So it gave me the freedom that I needed to sort of like kind of create a beautiful path and a place where I could see myself kind of like living on the road and experiencing like life in a different way, because I guess I spent my whole life sort of like chasing these dreams and trying to fit into society when I never really fit into society. I never really was the type of person to just buy a home in the suburbs and live that whole time. And I just tried it and it just didn't work. So it was just like the perfect place where I could sort of like live my dream of just like connecting with nature and being myself and being creative. And yeah, I was just going through a pretty heavy, dark time in my life, and I didn't really have an outlet at the time to sort of like process all that confusion and darkness. So I basically just spent like every single day for 4.5 months working on this bus project, and it helped me sort of like work through all that pain and that confusion, and it gave me an outlet to sort of like put all my love into, because I just like broke up with my partner too, so I was just like grieving. And instead of like sort of like just sitting around and doing nothing, I just like took this project on as my own, and just sort of had this dream of going to Mexico, and every single day I just like I put my whole heart and soul into this project, and with the idea that eventually when it finished I could hit the road and travel and sort of reconnect with the world again, and just meet some beautiful people and not feel lonely anymore. I guess my personal philosophy in life would basically just to like follow your heart and follow your dreams. And I spent half my life sort of like trying to please other people, and life doesn't have to be complicated. Like you know, like if you're eating good meals and you're hanging out with good people and you've got a roof over your head, I mean, that's all you need to please all and satisfy all those like deepest parts of you. So that's basically my philosophy, is just live simply and live freely, and don't let other people sort of like tell you what to do or control you. Just like really living your truth and trust yourself. And if there's like a little part of you inside your head that's telling you to do something, just go for it. Don't even think about it, just experience it and learn from your mistakes. That's where all the beautiful things in life come from. I mean, we're all just here to learn and to try to make sense of this like beautiful existence. So I'd say just go for it. So if you guys want to check out more of my stuff, I've got an Instagram page at bodybus that you can follow and find pictures and stories and videos from not just from my traveling, but also from my music and from my artwork. I've also got a website, bodyseatabus.com. And then if you want to check out my artwork, you can check that out at creaturesofthesun.com. And also you can find me on Instagram through my website. And I can show you. This is one of my canvases here. This is the kind of artwork that I've been doing, just like a lot of psychedelic West Coast landscapes, and I do a lot of stuff with people and animals, and just sort of like trying to capture the beauty and the beauty of the West Coast, and just trying to make sense of this beautiful mystery that we all exist in. So art's been a great vessel for working through a lot as well, and just I've been getting into music as well recently, so the bus is a great place to be recording music and be sharing music with the world, and possibly doing some tours this summer. So I'm really excited for that. It's Kenji. Hey buddy.
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend. Also, if you want to watch more alternative dwellings, we got a playlist popping up right here, and we release new episodes every single Sunday, so consider subscribing.